Hello, welcome to the show. Blow that whistle, somebody. Thank you very much. We do have one of my favorite commentators, Andy Staples, coming up, who's great, college football. And then Eddie interviewed Kyle Larson, who's a two-time NASCAR Cup winner.
Right after his win.
And I don't know, I had to leave for, I think, a doctor's appointment. So you did it. How'd it go?
It was good, man. I mean, I didn't really watch the race, but I made it seem like I did.
There you go.
Which is kind of
It's the history of all my interviews.
But I did get a recap of the race. I saw like clips of the end, which was a crazy ending. And
Do you think it was weird that it was you?
I don't know if anyone told him that it wasn't going to be you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did he ever know that it wasn't?
He never
He thought you were me?
Never addressed it.
Hey.
He never addressed it. And you can tell it was a long night before because he was tired.
Yeah.
But it was a good interview, man. It was cool talking to him.
A couple things. One, I do want to start with the guy that Dallas Cowboy player died. Do you know Marshawn Nealand?
No.
Okay, so Cowboys second-year defensive end Marshawn Nealand dies at 24 years old.
But he's currently on the team?
Right, Mike? I believe he was. I didn't know him, but I believe he was on the
I
team.
believe he's the one who returned the blocked punt last game.
What?
The team did not disclose any details of how he died. He was a second-round pick in 2024 out of Western Michigan. Wow. He scored a touchdown on Monday night versus the Cardinals when the Cowboys blocked a punt.
A huge play.
Yeah.
And
They're not saying why or how. I guess we'll figure it out. Oh, I got to put headphones on because I can't hear Kevin.
I know. I kind of have my headphones close to
Well,
me.
I have this
Thanks,
stupid
guys.
hat on. And it's hard. I can't wear headphones with a stupid hat.
We need big headphones.
Yeah, that's what I need. Monster-sized headphones.
You can put them behind you.
I think we just have to lose the stupid hats.
No.
I know.
I like the
Sorry,
stupid
guys.
hat.
I know.
Sorry.
We have to
Okay, fine.
stupid hats off this week. Okay.
That's so big.
Yeah.
That's the joke, Brandon.
I have to bring the camera.
Brandon's like, why are you taking it off? No, don't you get it? It's funny because it's so big.
What are they called? What are those hats called? They have a name, don't right?
Yeah. I don't know what they're called,
Dude,
though.
when they first came out.
But we made these. We bought a generic shell, and then I had Abby paint them.
Oh, that's the one she painted.
Because
Okay.
I didn't make Arkansas ones. She painted 2 for me.
Dude, when those first came out, like that was the funniest thing ever to see people wearing that.
What do you think about the UFC and the suspicious betting? Do you know about it?
No, I don't. I saw a headline, but I just thought Dana White was talking about
Mm-mm.
the other stuff. What's going on there? Great. I bet on UFC every weekend. What is happening?
Suspicious betting activity before a fight last weekend has led to an unlikely partnership. The UFC and the FBI are now actively working together
It was me.
in an investigation of wagering prior to a fight between Isaac Dolgarian and
Steve Garcia.
Yadier Del Val. I don't know. No. The word "and" is close to Dolgarian, so it looks like Dolgarian and
Okay.
Isaac Dolgarian
Hold on, let me
and Yadier Del Val. Whew, messed those up. Dana White says UFC was alerted to the potential problem by sports wagering watchdog Integrity Compliance 360, specifically concerning abnormal betting interest. What I had heard was right before the fight, the odds shifted tremendously, and the guy who was the favorite ended up losing. He was minus 250, but he lost in the first round by submission, and there was a massive shift right before, even with the odds. Did you bet that one?
I'm looking. I got Steve Garcia, which that was a huge win for me. What is it? Arnie Delgia?
Dolgarian.
Isaac Dolgarian.
No, okay. I might have been on Arnie. Isaac Dolgarian. Yeah, look at me. I lost on that one.
Oh,
Look at that.
You need to
Get
call
your
the
money
you need to
back.
call the FBI immediately after this.
He was favored minus 162, which isn't a heavy favorite.
I think it was shifting. Did you bet that right before the match?
I don't know. That might have been a live bet because 162 is odd. It's usually not like a 2. Dang, that's crazy, dude. They got me.
Who do we want to be in the triangle this week?
What do you mean?
What?
Oh, well, who got it? Who lost it last week?
Well, Kevin lost
I
last week,
lost it,
but
yeah.
No, he has a good record.
he has a good record.
Give it to Brandon.
So
Eddie wants no part
I
of
don't,
it anymore.
dude. The feeling that I have when I lose my leg of it, like sometimes I just kind of want to like end it. Like it's that feeling. It's
you
that
don't want to kill yourself
It's
because
that feeling
No,
of-
it's not. You don't
It
want to
is.
kill yourself because you missed one of the triangle.
It is because I let you guys down, and not only just you guys, all our listeners who like bet on that too. Like nobody wants to lose people money. And I did that.
You don't want to kill yourself though because you're one of the angles.
I'm not saying I'm not saying I want to kill myself. It's the feeling.
That's what you said
It's
though.
the feeling of like that.
Okay. Do you guys want to do it?
Brandon.
You guys feel good? Brandon, you can go first. What is your bet?
All right. I'm going to do Indiana minus 14.5 over Penn State.
Indiana's like the cop out for
They are going to Penn State. Indiana minus 14.5.
That's solid.
Okay. The reason I didn't pick that is because I've been picking it every week, and I feel like Penn State's actually a better team than people give them credit for. They don't have their starting quarterback, obviously, but they still have a bunch of dudes, and Indiana's been killing folks. I think eventually that has to end. I think they'll still win,
Yeah, you're right.
but that's why I didn't pick them.
But 15 isn't killing folks. You know?
Yeah, fair
So-
enough. I'm in a zag week. Everybody's zigging. I'm zagging. Kevin?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
He has his Vandy
Alabama.
shirt.
Oh, I do have my Vandy shirt on. Yeah. I thought about Vandy for a second there, but I'm gonna go with Alabama minus 10 is the last time I saw it.
Yeah, it's LSU at number 4 Alabama. Alabama minus 10. All right,
Yeah.
so far 2 favorites. Now, there is a new narrative that possibly Oregon is not good. And not near as good as we thought, because their biggest win is, well, Penn State.
They killed Rutgers, didn't they?
Yeah, but again, I think we could beat Rutgers.
Us 3.
Yes.
Us 4 with Mike.
And so the narrative is that maybe Oregon is not as good as we thought they were. But I think that Penn State win was actually bigger than people are giving it credit for. It was a night game. It was a whiteout. Aller was still the quarterback. James Franklin was still the coach. There was some unity. There was some consistency. And Iowa is starting to be looked at as a team that has a chance to make it. Like, I don't even think Iowa was in the AP poll, but they were ranked 20th whenever the CFB came out. So I'm going Oregon minus 6.5 because most people are thinking that Oregon maybe isn't as good.
Wow.
So I'm fighting the zig. I'm going the zag. I'm going Oregon is that good.
I like it. I didn't realize Iowa was 6-2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they lost by 1 point, I think, to Indiana. If you look back, you can correct me on this because I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, on like a last second or a last minute play or long pass, I do remember that.
Yeah, and I think that win is starting to look better and better the more the season goes by because we're seeing Indiana as a real team.
Mm-hmm.
They're a
lost
real
by
boy now.
5.
Oh, they did? What was the score?
Yeah, 20-15.
Yeah, I knew it's
True Iowa fashion.
Okay, that's going to be our parlay. Everybody good on that?
Yep.
It's going to be Indiana minus 14.5. It's going to be Alabama minus 10. And then over on my side, I'm going to have Oregon minus 6.5 at number 20, Iowa. Boom. Your team hitting pay dirt, pays out. That's our parlay presented by DraftKings. And they'll put it up on the app, right, Mike?
Yep.
Okay. Your team hitting pay dirt, pays out. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code BobbySports. That's the code BobbySports for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Now let's go over and talk with college football writer for On3 Sports and Yahoo Sports, Andy Staples. I'm a big Andy Staples fan. Andy's worked for The Athletic and Sports Illustrated. And he's great at talking about NIL and portal and coaching changes. Also, if you're looking for a great sports show, he hosts a daily show called Andy and Ari on 3, which you can listen to wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow him on socials, Andy_Staples. Here he is, Andy Staples. All right, we have Andy Staples on with us, one of my favorites when it comes to college football. It's kind of a college football holiday because as soon as they put out that first, here we go, these are the 12. It used to be, they put out, all right, this is the rankings. We have 4 teams, but now it's 12. I love the playoff. Who do you think is the big, I don't want to use the word fraud. So let me reverse. Who do you think on the list now in those 12 probably will not be there whenever it's time to actually have the tournament?
Well, Texas is number 11. I think they've got to play at Georgia, and they got to play Texas A&M. I think they're going to lose one of those at least. They might lose both of them. So I think that's probably the easiest one to just say they're probably not going to be there. Now, the way it's actually ranked, like now Texas wouldn't be in anyway because you've got the highest ranked ACC team is below 12 as well. So you've got to pull them up, and then you've got to pull another potential conference champ up. So I wonder if one of Texas Tech or BYU drops out. They play this weekend. I suspect they're going to wind up playing twice. I think they're going to play this weekend and then probably play again in the Big 12 title game. The way they're ranked right now suggests to me that if it goes a certain way, like say Texas Tech wins this one, BYU wins out, they still might both make it. But that's one of those two, and especially if Texas Tech loses to BYU this weekend, I think you'll see them drop out.
I feel like the ACC is probably going to get one slot unless there's, again, some magic that happens. And that Virginia's in, but I feel like that should just say placeholder for ACC. Do you feel like that's accurate?
Oh, yeah, because Virginia's lived so dangerously all season. And you look at the rest of their schedule, it's not exceedingly tough, but they also could lose any game on that schedule. They play Wake Forest at Duke, and then they play Virginia Tech. The at Duke is the really key one there because Duke is also in the mix for the ACC title. Duke only has one conference loss. They just happen to have two non-conference losses. So the glut at the top of the ACC is really, really weird because Virginia's undefeated in conference play, though they've lost to a conference team. Like they played NC State and lost, but that was scheduled as a non-conference game. So very strange year in the ACC. And Louisville is the one I think probably could wind up being the best team in the ACC and could wind up being in the playoff. I think that would make a lot of sense. But the one I would watch out for in the ACC is Pittsburgh. They changed quarterbacks after the Louisville loss. They only have one loss in conference play, and Mason Heinzel, their freshman quarterback, they're 5-0 since they've put him in the starting lineup. So they are a tricky one, and they play Miami and Georgia Tech down the stretch, so they could have a lot to say about this.
Is there a way, because I haven't run through the scenarios, that Georgia Tech wins out but doesn't end up in the ACC championship game, therefore they could get in with just a single loss? I feel like that would be a possibility of a team not winning the championship, the conference championship, and still getting in.
Yes, that is definitely possible because it would depend on tiebreakers. You probably need Virginia to win out. So Virginia would take one ACC championship game slot, and then because of tiebreakers, some other team with one loss in the ACC goes in over Georgia Tech. But as you said, in your scenario, Georgia Tech wins out, which means they beat Georgia at the end of the season. And so they'd have a win over probably a playoff team. We're assuming Georgia will come into that game with only one loss still. Maybe they won't. They do play Texas next week. But 11-1 with a win at Georgia at the end of the season probably is going to get you in. So Bobby, I think that is a very plausible scenario. And the Georgia fans are probably like, oh, God, it's not plausible. Guys, they took you to 8 overtimes in Athens last year. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
They have Memphis in. Again, I'm going to put that as a placeholder for whomever wins and it doesn't have to be the American. Obviously, like a James Madison or somebody else could squeeze in as well. But it's like Memphis, it's USF, right? Like one of those three. Who else am I missing that could possibly get that spot?
I think it's the American champ because I think the American is really deep at the top this year. And so JMU has the one loss to Louisville. They're the best team in the Sun Belt. But I think if the committee's comparing the path that they had to take, it's a lot harder to get through the American this year than it is to get through the Sun Belt. So I do think it's the American champ. You've got Memphis and Tulane playing this week, which feels like an elimination game. Both have one loss in conference. But you also have USF, which only has one conference loss. North Texas only has one conference loss, and Navy only has one conference loss. It's going to be one of those 5 that wins the championship. I think the American champ is the winner, but like you said, it's probably a placeholder because I could not tell you which of those 5 is going to win.
I didn't send you anything ahead of time. Andy's like one of my favorite guys to listen to, just in general, like across the board, even when you do your own show. So I'm just going to throw some stuff at you because some guys want to know, but I'm going to ask you about Virginia specifically. Is this an example of a team spending some money and actually getting good? And is it a bit, I would compare it to Indiana, how we learned that Cignetti, he comes in, a coach can win quick. I feel like Virginia spent some money and got good. In other teams, if they just commit money, they can also get good. Your thoughts?
Well, there's 2 schools of thought on this, and it is a fine line, I think. So you're exactly right. What Virginia did is they said, we can fire Tony Elliott now and pay him buyout money, or we can use that money to better the roster and give him a better chance. So they went out, they get Chandler Morris, they beef up that roster, and they're clearly better. So that's a case where that works. Now, I'm looking at Wisconsin right now, where there's a possibility they can go 2-10 this year. They have said, we would like to bring Luke Fickell back. We just want to give him more resources to donate to the roster and see if that gets better. I don't know if that gets any better because Tony Elliott was close. There were games that were close. Like Wisconsin doesn't feel competitive. So I think you have to examine each situation individually. And Tony Elliott was in a really different situation just because of everything that's happened since he's been there. For those who don't remember, there was a situation early in his tenure at Virginia where a former Virginia player walked on a bus after a school trip and murdered multiple other Virginia players. And Tony Elliott's had to deal with that and the fallout from that. And so his tenure's been viewed a little bit differently. It has not been a purely wins and losses kind of thing. And so I think that's probably something that was on their minds last year as they were trying to figure out, what do we do about this situation? How do we best use our resources? But I do think people are going to look at this. And if you feel like your coach is close, if you feel like you like the culture that the coach brings, you feel like the players like playing for that guy, and you're just a few players away, then that's when you do put more money toward the roster. When you feel like it doesn't matter what the coach does, like Auburn and Hugh Freeze this past week, it didn't matter what Hugh Freeze did. The same problems kept coming up over and over and over again. You could have thrown a bunch more money at that problem, and it still wasn't going to change anything. So you have to know as an AD what you have. Are you actually close, or is it somebody who's just going to give you the same set of problems over and over again?
So I am a booster donor at Arkansas, but I don't want to. I've chosen not to fly too close to the sun. Like, I've had to learn. Like, I don't want to not like people because I love it so much, and I'm not going to like every coach we hire, and I don't want to. So I've chosen to not fly so close to the sun, but I have been privy to some emails, and I won't give specifics, but they have been feeling out certain coaches, but not to the coach. It's got to go from like a person to a person that knows a person that knows a coach, and you know this better than anybody. And they would throw things out like, hey, they're in the middle of their season with a team that's winning, and they're going, hey, would this person consider $10 million a year? And it's got to go through all these layers. That's happening a lot everywhere right now, right? Where it's just intermediaries talking to intermediaries.
It absolutely is. And sometimes it's pretty cut and dried. Like, search firm guy calls coach's agent, says, what would it take to get this person to school X? And that's why you hire a search firm. I think people get it confused. They think these ADs hire these search firms to pick the coach for them or to give them a candidate pool. That's not what it is. You hire them so you have cover, so that when someone says, have you contacted so-and-so, you can say and not be lying, no, I have not. Did your search firm contact them? Yes, they have. But you don't have to say that. And that's exactly what's going on right now, Bobby. And Arkansas is fascinating to me. I want to ask you this, because I watched what they did with John Calipari in basketball. And they took big swings, but they also, when they went to him, they said, we are going to make sure you are fully resourced in terms of the roster that you can put together. And Tyson Foods obviously donated quite a bit of money, and Arkansas has big corporate backing, for those who don't know. I know your listeners probably understand that completely because you talk about them a little bit, but for the national audience, I always try to explain, like, when you go to Northwest Arkansas, it's not what you think it's going to be. It is a place with a bunch of corporate headquarters, a lot of new money, and Arkansas has access to that in ways that other schools don't. And if you can get your corporate money excited at Arkansas, you can make a splash. And so that's what I wonder is, because we talk about the various candidates for this job, but I kind of think that's one where you could get the mystery person who you didn't think was movable, because they can get that corporate money excited.
So specifically, John Tyson and Calipari had a relationship. Like, that's how basketball essentially happened, is a relationship. The human element of John Tyson, big Arkansas guy, loves John. They've been friends forever. And Kentucky and Calipari were not good. They were going to couples therapy at the time, obviously.
Oh, Kentucky was going to fire him.
Yes. It was not going. So because of that relationship, Mr. Tyson stepped in and said, hey, basically, I got this. I'm going to need a little help, but I got this. So, but what's happening now? Roughly, I'll be very generic about what's happening now, is all these dudes or women with money, they want to have so much control if they give so much money.
Mm-hmm.
And that ends up being
this is the
issue.
Texas conundrum for so long.
Yeah, it's starting because there is a ton of corporate money. You could go through trucking companies or chicken companies or Walmart, and they all buy buildings up there, and they can own the building. The problem is it's hard to pull in billionaire money if the billionaire is not pulling all the strings. And I'm thinking, knowing a bit that that's what's happening right now, that if we could pull that money, we'd pull up Bear Bryant, put him through the machine. He'd be alive again. It would all be, we'd have the resources to do that, but it's hard to combine all of it because all of it wants to have control. And that's where the issue lies.
Yeah, and that's the hardest problem. That was the problem at Texas for so long. I remember talking to somebody who worked there, and they've gotten everybody on the same page at this point, which is hard to do. It's credit to their athletic director, Chris Delcani, for doing it. But I remember talking to somebody who worked there, 10, 15 years ago, and they said, you have these guys who are either multimillionaires, in some cases billionaires, that they are accustomed to whatever they say, everybody jumps and does exactly what they want. But the problem is when you have two billionaires and they want opposite things, one of them is not going to go what they want, and then they freak out, and they're not used to that. So it is such a strange situation. And like Arkansas is fascinating to me because I go back to what Hunter Yurachek said when he fired Sam Pittman, because he said, hey, we are resourcing John Calipari in the way he needs to be resourced to compete at the highest level. We were not resourcing Sam Pittman in the way he needed to be resourced. So that's the question I would ask if I'm a candidate at Arkansas is, are you going to give me the money to compete at the top of the SEC? Because I do think you can. Bobby, I had a segment on my show where we were talking about this. This was before Sam got fired. And somebody had asked me what I thought of the job. And I said, well, I don't know. Especially at a time when Missouri is good and Ole Miss is good, I just don't know how many of those level of SEC programs can be good at the same time. And a person in the chat goes, Andy, what did you think of the Ole Miss job before Lane Kiffin was hired? Like when it was Matt Luke and he was getting fired, what did you say about the Ole Miss job? And I'm like, you know what? I said the same thing. So I'm wrong. I'm wrong on this, because if you make the right hire, be it Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri, you can change your fortunes in the SEC. You can move. Now, maybe you don't move all the way to the top, but you can move into the upper echelon with the right hire. So Arkansas has a chance here. And that's the thing that, like, I'm not sure in the old system, pre-NIL, pre-transfer portal, that Arkansas would have had a chance to move up. Now it does.
What about your school? What about Florida? What's happening?
That one's crazy because the fan base wants Lane Kiffin. They're hell bent on getting Lane Kiffin. They think he is the spiritual successor to Steve Spurrier. That's all they want. They don't want anybody else. But the fact of the matter is, Lane Kiffin has a really good job right now. Ole Miss may go 11-1. Ole Miss may play for the SEC championship. It's not 15 years ago where if Florida or LSU wanted the Ole Miss coach, they just snap their fingers and get him. It doesn't work that way anymore because the ceilings are actually pretty similar. And Ole Miss gives Lane Kiffin everything they want, everything he wants. He has almost complete control. And I'm not sure you're going to get that at Florida, and I'm not sure you're going to get that at LSU. And also, can you wait if Lane Kiffin is going deep in the playoff? Like, even if he wants to come, can you wait on it? So that's a really interesting situation. So then you talk about who would the other candidates be? And I think it'd be Jeff Brom at Louisville would be a really good candidate for Florida's job. Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri, Jed Fish at Washington's a Florida grad. I think, he did an amazing job rebuilding Arizona. So far, so good in the Washington tenure. But it's not going to make the fan base happy unless it's Lane Kiffin. And so they'll have to do some massaging. If they can't get Lane, they'll have to deal with, maybe don't win the press conference. I'm not a big believer in you have to win the press conference. You have to win games. And the people I just named, Jeff Brom, Eli Drinkwitz, Jed Fish, all of them are really good coaches. All of them are good recruiters. They could all succeed at Florida. I do think Lane would be the best choice, but I'm not sure he's going to be available. I think there's a chance he's good at Ole Miss.
We've seen extensions from Cignetti, from Rule, from these guys midseason to go, hey, I'm staying. We haven't seen that from Lane. Is that an indicator of anything?
Yeah. It's either he's driving the price up still, or he is seriously considering a move. And the fact that LSU's open changes the math on all this too, because I think before LSU opened, the one he would consider leaving for is Florida, but I think he would probably consider leaving for LSU as well. And so if I were him, I would milk this for all it's worth. I would drive the price as high as humanly possible, and then do that. Really, it comes down to, like I just said, because they can all pay about the same. I think you can win the national title at any of the three if you do it right. It just comes down to where you want to work. And so he's going to have to decide that.
I was looking at the odds because they put them out, Big Ten championship game, and I think Ohio State was 3.5-point favorite if they were to play today over Indiana. Who's the better team in your opinion?
I think it's Ohio State because they have the best players in the country at certain positions. So Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese are the two best defensive players in the country. Not just at their positions, they're the two best in the country, and they're on the same team. Jeremiah Smith is the best receiver in 5 years, he will be the best receiver in the world. He will be better than Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, but he's definitely the best receiver in college football right now. Carnell Tate, if he's not number 2, he's top 5 best receivers. And then Julian Sayin, I got to tell you, he's evolved as the season's gone on, and I think that they've handled his development really well. Where if you go back to that Texas game, they were not putting him in positions where he had to be Superman or do anything really drastic. I was at the Penn State game last weekend, Bobby, and this guy is awesome. They're taking the chains off a little bit, letting him do some things, and he may wind up being the best quarterback in the country. I still think that's probably Ty Simpson right now at Alabama, but the way Julian Sayin is developing week to week, it's pretty scary. And so I think that's why I would take Ohio State in that matchup. That said, I have a hard time picking against Curt Cignetti. I have a rule on the show now. I think I picked UCLA to cover 24.5 against them a few weeks ago. I'm done with that. If Indiana's favored, I'm picking Indiana to cover. They just dominate people. They crush people. And I think they're going to keep doing that. They're a 2-touchdown favorite at Penn State this week. Imagine going, into a time machine to the middle of 2023 when Indiana was busy going 3-9 and saying, hey, in 2 years, the Hoosiers are going to go on the road to Happy Valley and they'll be 2-touchdown favorites. The person would have had you committed.
That Indiana team's interesting because, again, when he came over, he brought a lot of JMU guys with him. But it didn't feel like, and again, the headline just could have buried the other, but it didn't feel like it was a Virginia-type situation where they just invested a whole bunch more money. It's like they invested in the guy, and he brought some of his guys, and it wasn't we're going to toss a ton of NIL money out, at least that first year. Am I correct about that it was more of a coach culture thing?
Yeah, it's a coach culture thing, and it's an understanding. And the thing is, they also did some stuff with some of the guys they inherited. I don't think people realize, Carter Smith, their left tackle, was one of the guys they inherited. I believe he signed with Indiana out of high school. I'm trying to remember. They had one lineman who had transferred in from Wisconsin that they ended up doing some, but he had transferred in when Tom Allen was there. So they've found ways to take these guys that were not at another school, that were not at James Madison, and they've gotten a lot out of them too. But it also helps that they brought this core from James Madison, Elijah Surratt, D'Angelo Pons, Aiden Fisher, that knew exactly what Curt Cignetti expected. But it's funny because people now make that the excuse because I think I call Curt Cignetti the destroyer of excuses. All these coaches that say, well, I need time. This is a build. This is a process. Well, Curt Cignetti has put the lie to all of that. If you're good enough, you don't need time. And they say, well, yeah, but he brought his own players. He brought his players from the Sun Belt. You're not supposed to be able to do this. I think it's just he's a really good coach.
Final question. We were talking before you came on about all the things that you're doing because you're in a lot of different places. How are you not repeating your same material in different places? Because I find it's difficult for me to do too. But
Yeah.
again, especially right now, you're all over the place. How are you trying to keep things independent of each other?
Well, so I have my show at On3, which is me and Ari Wasserman together. And a lot of it is, so Bobby, you're solo, which God bless you. I don't know how you do it. I'm terrible solo and can't imagine just talking into the void because I always wonder what people are thinking and if I can't get a reaction, I start losing confidence. So I like working with other people on shows. So I have Ari Wasserman as my co-host at On3, and he is a lunatic and thinks differently than every other human on earth. So anything I bounce off of Ari on our show is going to go in a completely different direction than any other conversation I have, whether I'm a guest on somebody's show, or I also do a show at Yahoo called the College Football Inquirer with Ross Dellinger and Stephen Godfrey. We can do the same, and we have done this, where same day, same topic, it's completely different because the way those guys interpret everything and the way Ari interprets everything are completely different. So they'll take me in different directions too. But yeah, it's funny because there are times though when it's a big week and you're doing a lot of shows that you're like, okay, I wonder how many people, like, what's the Venn diagram of people who listened to that last show I did and who listened to this show? I got a good joke off on that last show, so maybe I can squeeze it out here too.
Andy_Staples. I'm a massive fan of what you do and how you present it. I really appreciate the time. And yeah, we'll put in the notes. We were talking about before you came on how to catch all your shows. But Andy, thank you for the time, man, and I hope you have a great rest of the week.
Thanks so much, Bobby. I appreciate it.
See you, Andy. I'm surprised when looking at the men's basketball odds that Arkansas isn't a top 10 team.
Right.
And I'm not being a homer here because that last year I was like, hey, I don't think we have it to win it all. I think we'll go pretty far. I think we have a shot to win it all.
But they're being haters because nobody knows anything. It's they haven't played anyone. All these teams haven't played
none of them. But Purdue's going to be great.
Yeah, but
and everybody loves Painter, the coach. And Houston's probably going to win the Big 12. And they're number one at plus 950.
Purdue played like Memorial High School, and they didn't look great.
They did, but all their guys came back.
Yeah, I know.
Except for one, I think, but their whole team came back. Kentucky and UConn, Duke, Michigan, Florida, BYU, St. John's, Louisville, Kansas. I'm telling you, I don't ever say smart money, but I would bet Arkansas because the odds, one, are going to be so high, and we're really good.
To win it all.
But you can always cash out early.
You can, yeah. How about like a Elite Eight?
But again, you can bet to win it all, and if they make the Elite Eight, you can go ahead and cash out and get your money.
Okay, that's not bad.
And then all of a sudden, they're playing in the Elite Eight against somebody who lost their power forward, and you're like, well, let's keep going with this thing. But anyway, I saw that, and I was a little shocked. How's kids sports going?
Weird. So right now, my 12-year-old's trying out for the middle school basketball team. It's a 2-week long tryout. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, it was one day and it lasted maybe an hour. And they're like, all right, you go to the sheet of paper the next day and you're like, oh, my name's not on the list. Cool, I didn't make it. But like my son's, this is 2 weeks.
Is it for multiple teams? Like, are there multiple?
No.
Really?
It's one team and I think they're picking 12 kids. 12 is the number. I think there are maybe 25 trying out. I don't know. The fact, dude, every dad, like, we look at each other and we're like, every time we drop off the kids, and we're not allowed in. They tape.
Yeah, that's weird. You said that about basketball too.
They tape the windows. They send a note out.
What are they doing to your kids?
That's what I'm saying, dude. They sent a note out and said no peeking through the windows. Absolutely no parents invited to the tryouts. And it's
I understand
2 weeks.
why. I understand why, but 2 weeks seems a lot. But the taping of the windows feels weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me, dude, I'm the dad. I'm like, what are they doing in there?
So you have to drop them off for 2 weeks, and you don't know.
No, today's the last tryout day, and then they find out next week if they made the team or not. Which, pretty sure my son makes the team. He's a good basketball player, but he's not tall.
Oh, this is basketball. I said baseball.
No, it's basketball.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
How does he feel about it?
He thinks he's going to make it. He's got a good gauge. He knows.
Didn't he
those
do
are-
this last year though?
No, this is the first. This is for the school.
But didn't they have a tryout where you weren't invited? Like, it's very similar.
This was like 3 years ago, and it was to get into a league.
Got it.
And that was like, we can sit outside the gym doors or whatever. And I get it. You don't want the parents in there yelling at the kids or the kids getting distracted by looking at the parents to make sure they're doing good at the tryouts. I understand that part. but the 2 weeks of an uninvited closed door tryout is bizarre to me.
But you understand why. Not the 2 weeks, but the no parents.
The no parents, I understand. I
Yeah.
do.
2 weeks does seem like a long time.
There are some parents that are too much.
Do you think you're too much ever?
Nope.
You say sometimes that you.
Not on practices.
No, but I think it's just in general.
Games, yeah. Sometimes when you're watching a game, you don't realize how much you're yelling. Like, and then my wife and I kind of help each other with it. Like, hey, settle down, you're yelling too hard. Or she'll tell me, like, you're yelling too hard. And you don't even notice it, dude. You're just in it. It's almost like if you're in an NBA game, you're just yelling, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, except they're 9.
I know
Yeah.
that.
And not getting paid.
A little bit different.
I know.
I saw the clip you brought in from Coach Sark.
Oh, dude, I couldn't agree with him more.
Set it up.
Coach Sark's on the podium talking about just schools firing coaches. And he's just saying, like, you keep firing coaches. Who are you going to hire? Like, there's a problem when you do this. Who are you going to hire? And there's also a culture of, like, schools not giving the coach enough time to build a team and just getting rid of coaches.
Everybody wants to fire their coach. Who are you going to hire? There's all these jobs out there right now. Who's everybody going to hire? I don't know. We'll find out. Somebody's got to be the head coach. The amount of, 1 week you're a hero, the next week you're a zero mentality that fan bases and people want to have, surely coaches want some security to what they sign up to go do. We work really hard, and I get it. We all want to win, and we're all busting our tails to try to win, and sometimes things don't go your way, especially in our conference. It's tough.
What do you think?
I think I was talking to Brandon Marcello about this last week, and Sark may have heard me talking and taken my theory.
That's got to be what
I
happened.
knew I heard it before.
Yeah.
Because I said that exact same thing. You're going to have a lot of teams look back and go, dang, we shouldn't have fired a coach. Because now everybody's losing more.
Yeah.
And had we fired them 5 to 7 years ago, it would have made more sense because we had worse non-conference games. There were only 4 teams making the BCS playoff. Now, if you don't make the tournament, like, everybody wants their coach gone.
And that's what he's saying too, right? Like, he's saying partly what you said.
And he's saying all what
A
I said.
lot of what you said, but he's also saying too, like this whole, okay, you don't make the playoffs and you fire your coach. Like, you're not always going to win.
Well, and also when you fire a coach, the worst thing that's going to happen for a fan base is we don't want to retread. But there are all these great coaches that were fired for reasons that probably were a bit irresponsible to be fired for. And now they're considered a retread, and fan bases aren't happy. But there are a couple retreads that I would love to have in Arkansas. But
Like,
James Franklin would be awesome.
yeah, well, man, that'd be awesome.
Like, you won at Vanderbilt. He went up and won a bunch of games at Penn State.
Mhm.
Like, averaged 10 a year.
He seems like a smart dude too.
Yeah, I don't know him.
I don't either, but he seems like someone who knows what he's doing. There are some coaches that look like they're probably smart, but they don't look like they know what they're doing.
Another one, Sandusky.
Where is he? Is he in jail?
Yeah,
He's in jail.
he's in jail. Don't.
Can you watch football in there?
Dude, I don't know what they do in jail. I hope everything bad happens to him. I was just using that as an example of, like, the worst possible retread.
I was
I don't think
thinking,
you
like,
can get any worse.
I was thinking of playing too much golf.
No, like Hugh Freeze. Yeah, no.
Not that.
Like, I was going to the absolute worst coach that a fan base could possibly have. in
He
here.
could get out in 2042 at the age of 81.
And hey, I'm gonna tell you what, we'll probably hire him. If I know us, if we have the same administration, we'll probably put a floater in there to see if he's available. Yeah,
man.
I think the retread thing gets. I did see where it's been rumored that possibly Kevin, did you see this? Lane Kiffin? No, not Lane Kiffin.
No.
Lincoln Riley.
Oh, no, I have not seen that at all.
Yeah, maybe Lincoln Riley.
Really?
Arkansas?
LSU. Yeah.
Wait, to Arkansas or LSU?
Not Arkansas.
Oh, I thought you were saying to
I was-
Arkansas.
no.
Like,
Me too. I
interesting.
was like, dang.
to LSU.
Okay.
And if you remember, when he was at Oklahoma, they were doing the press conference, and the LSU job was open, and they kept asking him, "Are you taking the LSU job?" And he said, "I'm not taking the LSU job." And then he bails off to USC. And that was his way to get around it. Was nobody asked him about the USC job, and they didn't say, "Are you leaving?" They were like, "There's a lot of rumors about you in the LSU job." He's like, "I'm not taking the LSU job."
Would you, if you're an LSU fan, would you want him that bad?
He's not a bad coach.
I think he's a really good coach,
Right.
especially if he has the right defensive coordinator. I would like Lincoln Riley. I don't think they're going to get, unless they get Lane Kiffin, they're going to be upset.
Yeah, agreed.
So
And-
I think Lincoln Riley is a great fallback if you don't get Lane Kiffin.
Is Ole Miss cool with all Lane Kiffin talk? Like
They can't do anything about it.
they can't.
It's weird because these coaches sign contracts, but it doesn't matter. It's actually, instead of a contracting their services for a certain amount of time, it is a contract that says how much another school has to pay to hire your coach as a buyout.
Oh.
That's basically what it's turned into. Like, I am in the middle of a contract with our company, and another company couldn't come and just be like, hey, we'd like to hire you. And I'm like, all right, I'm out. I have a contract.
Yeah.
There's no buyout clause in it. If there was a buyout clause,
Oh, that'd be awesome, dude.
it'd be,
Maybe you should
it'd be
start
crazy,
a buyout clause.
It'd be crazy if we get traded. Because I'd trade a couple of those fools from Buy Bone Show. Like, right now.
We would just trade people.
I would get some good
trade
good
talent.
value. Yeah.
And you know what though?
I-
Sometimes I would be asked to be traded. Get me out of here. Trade me.
As leverage?
I don't know. You hear that in sports, how they go to the coach or like trade me.
like, there's a couple folks I'd trade for like a couple good cameras. You know how they do like for cash incentives?
Not even people.
I don't
gear.
even, you know what? I don't need people. At this point,
I need microphones.
I guess we need some technology. So
That's messed up,
that,
man.
and
That's messed up.
yeah, it'd be crazy if we could trade people though.
That would be cool. And a buyout clause. You should just propose it.
If
be
somebody
like,
pays $10 million, they can hire me as long as they pay you the money to the company.
yeah,
I don't really want that.
like a A&M guy, you know,
Jimbo?
Yeah, well, that's a buyout. 70 million. But also it works both ways with those coaches. Meaning if a school wants to come and hire them, they can at any point, but they got to pay the buyout.
Right.
Or
Right.
if the school that currently owns that contract and the coach works for them, if they want to fire them, they have to pay out the buyout to the coach. So either way, the coach makes their money.
Is there another job where you get fired as much as coaches do?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question, though. Let's think about that.
Because like coaches, like, sorry, dude.
I
gone.
don't think that coaches are getting fired a lot.
Well, this year they are.
This year more than ever, but I'm saying it's like people winning the lottery. I don't have a lot of time to put the theory together, so
I know, and I just threw this out.
so follow me here. We hear a lot of stories about people winning the lottery. They're very high-profile stories.
yeah,
It's like only if somebody wins $1 billion, 500 million. Most people aren't winning the lottery.
okay, I see what you're saying.
And so whenever a big-time coaching job is open, it is all over the news all the time. There are probably, and Mike, you could look up how many Division I, Division II schools, Division III schools. There are probably hundreds and hundreds of,
Total college
Yeah.
schools.
yeah, and this is a big year because
Maybe
there are
300.
possibly. But there's and there ends up being 20 jobs open in a big year. And a lot of that's carousel too. So there's really only a certain amount. And then all these other jobs open because other coaches took other jobs. So I don't think it's that there are so many jobs open. I think they're just high profile jobs that we hear about.
But then is Alcorn State firing their coach because they didn't win
Yeah,
3 games?
possibly.
Are they? Because I feel like the smaller schools, they're just like, you know what? Like, we lost 4 games. We'll give you 2 more years, 3 more years.
I think smaller schools are a feeding system to bigger schools, or they have longer to build. They're given, 4 to 7 years.
Yeah.
At smaller schools.
And there's less eyeballs on them, less pressure to win.
And also, when you say coaches getting fired, there are also 40 coaches on every staff.
True. I
You're
guess we're talking about head coaches.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we know a lot of them because it's a high-profile job that makes the news. So it's a job where people get fired a lot. But I bet people get fired in business every day, all the time. Salespeople get fired all the time. So it's just in the news. It's like plane crashes.
It's kind of harder to get fired, though, in the corporate world, right? Like, isn't there like a lot of paperwork to fire people?
Well,
and-
there's also a lot of calls you got to make to donors and boosters to get money to fire coaches.
Oh, yeah.
So remember the whole plane crash thing where there was a news story about a plane crashing or smoking out or something, or when there were fights all the time?
Yeah.
I don't think that was something that was happening all the time or in a lot of places, but when it did, man, it was highlighted and talked about a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what it is now. It's more this year than ever before, especially the big jobs.
Yeah.
But I don't think, generally speaking, it's a profession where a lot of people are just getting fired willy-nilly
Mm-hmm.
because there's real money involved. But it does seem like it's fun.
It is. I mean, fun for us.
It's fun. Yeah, it's
Fun
fun.
for us.
Just
to
the
watch.
turnover rate is kind of comparable to CEOs or politicians.
Yeah.
Wow. You can fire politicians?
Yeah, not reelect them.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I would assume that would be what a firing of a politician is.
Yeah.
Like not reelecting him.
Yeah. Serve a term and you're done.
Yeah. Well, you could also serve a term and be done and do what most I feel in that world should do is do your couple terms, then get out and not be a lifelong politician.
Yeah.
But most don't
Yeah.
do that. They just want to get reelected. Okay, I want to get over to this interview Eddie did.
Oh, it's a
with-
fantastic interview. One of the best. One of the best we've ever done on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited to not hear it. With
good. You
newest.
haven't listened to it?
No.
Why not?
And I never will.
Great. Now you're telling everyone listening, don't listen to it.
I didn't say that, but why would I listen to it?
I don't know, just because you. And this is one thing. You like texted me like, "Hey, how did the interview go?" And I was like, "Do you want to hear it?" I was thinking to myself like, "Or you haven't heard
if
it."
you want me to hear it, I would listen.
I would like for you to hear
But
it.
I've got my secondary ears making sure that it's good, which is mine.
Oh, what did you hear? What did you hear there?
No, what I hear is if it makes it, it's good.
Oh, okay, good.
He's not gonna put something on that's not good.
I just didn't get any
anything.
feedback.
Even with a show, if like there's something that's not good, Mike didn't even tell me. He'll just pull it, Or-
Yeah, I know that.
or he'll edit something in a way that I don't even have to worry about it. And if Mike's like, no, it worked, let's go.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on that sheet if it wasn't good.
Yeah,
I know, but you guys understand that it's.
but
that's-
you can say, hey, listen to it, and I'm happy to listen to it. I don't know what you want.
You don't have
though.
to. It's okay.
No.
I don't
If
think you
you-
want him to critique it.
Yeah. If
No, actually, I really don't. I don't.
Yeah.
What are you
Thank you,
asking
Mike.
for, dude?
I'm happy to give you feedback on
No,
it.
no, I'm good.
You'll get a 2-minute voice message
good.
later on.
But that's the thing, you will get it.
Yeah.
I'm good, dude. I'm
It-
good.
Did you ever send the Kenny Chesney interview off?
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
sent to read. You
I was
haven't,
thinking about that-
you haven't gotten that?
No, I was thinking about it last night before I went to bed.
What about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it off.
About
All right.
Eddie and Kenny?
I was just asking Eddie for this Kenny Chesney interview. I don't know why I brought it up right now, but I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, I'm too sleepy to grab my phone.
If you would have had to tell me 3 times, I got a problem.
Well, no, I was emailing Eddie to the wrong email address.
Yes.
Because Eddie's very responsive. And I sent an email, and I was like, hey, will you send me the Kenny Chesney interview? I want to find a couple clips for socials. And I got no response. So I sent it again. I was like, hey, don't forget to send me that interview. And nothing. So I text him. He texted me about something, and I texted him back, and I was like, hey, what's up with that Kenny interview? And he's like, what are you talking about? So I screenshotted a couple emails, and he was like, dude, is that like my Eddie69@gmail.com? And I was like, I said, I don't know. I just hit your name up there, and it sent it, and that's what it was.
I found it later after the Best Buy promotion.
Yeah, that's on me. I literally just type ED, and the Eddie populates into the thing. But yeah. Here we go. Let's get over to this talk. Hey, Brandon, those hats were funny we were wearing, weren't they? Yeah, those are so funny. They're big. Those are funny. Let's get over to Eddie with NASCAR Cup champion Kyle Larson. I've heard this interview is great.
Shut up, dude. Shut up. Just play the thing.
Anybody listening right now, will you send me your notes on Eddie's interview?
Oh, no. What are we doing?
Look what you did, Eddie.
Like, DM me on Instagram your notes
No. Be kind, guys. Be kind.
No, I want to know what they really think. It may be Eddie did great. Because
No.
Amy did an interview with, Andy Bosco?
Yeah.
That we put up on the Bobby Bones show. Because it was for Women of Our Country, and we only used parts of it. And so we put the whole thing up. And for the most part, people were positive about it. I don't think people are going hard for the sake of going hard.
Okay. Well, I feel that with this setup, you're setting them up
I'm
to go
not.
hard.
I'm just asking. Give us a few critique lines.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. And be real. Be real.
Or, oh, this could hurt.
See, this is what I'm worried about.
So these are the 2 things I would say. 1, either DM me, or 2, if you're listening on Spotify, there's the comment section.
Oh.
Oh, no.
But
Write us a critique of Eddie's interview here.
would this hurt our streaming?
No, it would help it. We love the.
No, even if it was just like, this is the worst interview I've ever heard in my life.
Nope, we just love engagement.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Kyle won the championship on Sunday. And some people say it was kind of a cheap win.
Because he didn't actually win the race.
Is this something we find out about here?
Not really.
How did he not win the race if he won the race?
Because it's not how it works. Like, you don't have to actually win the race that he was racing.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We know how that works.
Yeah.
So I don't know how
You got enough points and you finish in a high enough spot.
and you'll hear
It
in
was
the,
not a cheap win.
you'll hear in the interview he took 2 tires instead of 4. Denny Hamlin, who could have won as well, took 4 tires. That was on him. So it takes longer to put 4 tires on than it takes 2. That's why they think he won.
You can now follow Kyle on social media at Kyle Larson Racing. Here he is, the great Eddie with Kyle Larson.
We're here with 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champ Kyle Larson, dude, this yesterday was crazy, man. Like that race was nuts. So run me through the end of that race where um, William Byron goes out, he hits the wall. You've got a decision to make. You're in the caution, and you decided to go with two tires. Who decided to go with two tires? Was that you, or who made that call? Because obviously it was the right call.
Yeah, I think it was just a team decision. We were all kind of on the same page there. When the caution came out, we have our own little code words for what, means what for whether it's four tires or two tires. And I kind of like threw it out there like, hey, what are you guys thinking about this? And they're like, oh, we're definitely doing that. It's like, all right, let's go. I think that's our only shot to win here. And yeah, we just executed a good pit stop and yeah, was able to do what we had to do there. So yeah, as you mentioned, just a crazy finish for us. We were pretty average all day at best, and you went a lap down in the third stage, and just never gave up. And I think that was it, and that's what got us that championship.
Are you saying that you have code words because everyone can hear the radio talk?
Yeah, every team kind of has code words, because yeah, you're trying to decoy a little bit, of what you're gonna do. Because yeah, all the teams are scanning the radio of all the other race cars. So yeah, you just try to keep things a little bit of a secret, and that's how you do that with the code words.
And when did you know that Denny took four tires and that immediately you're like, this could work?
Yeah, so my pit stall was like on the complete opposite side of the racetrack as his. So we did our pit stop, our two tires, and I came out, and the pit road kind of goes around turns three and four. So you curve around. He was in the number one pit stall, so I was just trying to look as far around as I could and just praying that he wasn't taking two tires as well. And when I saw they were taking four, and then as many people that I have between him and I, a few people. I was like, man, we got a good shot here. We got a little buffer, and I'm gonna try and rip hard on this restart through one and two, and it just all worked out.
I think what was so cool is as soon as you won, when you crossed the finish line, you start yelling like, "Thank you, team! Like we did it." How many people go into this? Because obviously we watch you race, and we're like, "This is Kyle. He's in charge. He deserves the win." But there are so many people behind the scenes. Like, how many people are actually involved in this win?
Well, I think there's like close to 500 people at Hendrick Motorsports. So, and every single person has a part in the four cars, the four Hendrick Motorsports cars getting to the racetrack and racing. So, yeah, it's a huge team win, but especially the team of people at the racetrack are your core group, and that championship yesterday took every single person there. So. I was just blown away and shocked and surprised and all of it, and just so proud of the team for the never give up attitude, and doing what we had to do to make the gutsy calls at the right moment and then take advantage of the moment.
You said the car was like average at best. I've heard you guys like I like to bet on NASCAR. It's one of my favorite things to do. So like sometimes I'll bet before the race starts, and then as soon as I hear like you or anyone on the radio say like, "Man, the car's loose. This thing's not feeling right," immediately I'm like, "Well, I lost that bet." What do you mean by that when you say like the car's loose?
Yeah, so when you hear a driver saying the car's loose, that means like the rear end of the car wants to come around. When you say you're tight, that means like the front end of the car wants to hit the wall. So yeah, and then you're just trying to find that right balance of where you got, it's just kind of free and natural and going around the corner easy. But yeah, my car yesterday, it was all of it. I was tight and loose and slow and frustrated and all of it.
Yeah, but see, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, bet's lost. But that's not always the case. Is that what you're telling me, Kyle? Is that not always the case that even though it doesn't feel right, you could still win?
Yeah, and that's just the way NASCAR racing is, because you get a late caution like we did yesterday, and then you get strategy to come into play, and you never know, what the clear cut answer is. You don't know what other teams are going to do, so it just gets wild and crazy, and yeah, I would say more often than not, I feel like in the Cup Series, the fastest car doesn't always win. There's so many elements into racing. with pit stops and other competitors on the track and like I mentioned, the strategies. It's just it gets wild, and you got to be prepared for those wild moments.
Now we're recording this the day after your win. What happens? What happens after you win? After the TV goes out, we don't see you anymore. Like, how do you celebrate this win?
Well, for the championship, it's a lot of pictures, like tons of pictures. My cheeks hurt today from smiling so much. So, but yeah, it was about I don't know, close to 5 hours or so of celebration at the track and pictures, like I mentioned, and interviews and all of that, and then hurry home, shower, and go out. We went out in Old Town Scottsdale last night, and that was a blast. The whole team was able to come and celebrate the championship. So just really proud of everybody and cool to celebrate. We had our team looked a lot different, from our first championship. So it was cool that, it was a lot of their first championships and hopefully not their last.
When you say you go out, what do you tell the kids? Like, all right, guys, Dad's got to go celebrate. Dad will be back.
I think they understood. They knew what we were gonna do last night. So yeah, we brought a nanny out with us this trip, so she was very
Smart.
helpful.
Yeah, it's funny because like my kids, they think every dad's on the radio or has a podcast or whatever, and it's not the case. Like, no, man, not every dad's like this. What about you? Do your kids know what you know? Do they know what you do in the sense of like you're one of the best race car drivers out there?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know that. I think Owen probably is he's my oldest. I think he gets an idea, which I got to remind him sometimes because he races himself, and I'm like, dude, you got to listen to me. Don't you realize? Like I know what
Dad
I'm
knows what
talking
he's talking
about.
about.
So I think he's starting to realize, but I'm not sure, and I don't want. I mean, I guess you as a dad, you want to be that superhero, but I also don't want them to think that I'm above anybody because I am just a normal person and I'm their dad and they get to see a side of me that nobody else gets to see. So uh yeah, that probably makes me seem more down to earth to them, but yeah, it's just cool having your family at the racetrack and getting to celebrate moments like that. It's pretty amazing.
I'm sure you know a lot of celebrities, a lot of you've met a lot of people in your career. When you win like last night, what's the coolest text you get from who? Does your phone blow up too after a win?
Yeah, yeah, it definitely does. I think I had probably somewhere in the mid 400s last night. So yeah, I've been able to get through most of them, which is good. It takes time, but yeah, I don't know. I think for me, yeah, there's definitely some celebrities that'll text you, but for me, it's the people that have meant the most to me throughout my life. I would say going back to like my childhood, having a lot of my childhood friends that I maybe don't get to stay in touch with much anymore because I'm, out racing on the East Coast a lot. My friends and supporters that have been there from the beginning. I think those are the ones that mean the most to me.
So when you text back, say to the 400 replies, is it kind of the same thing? Like, thanks, dude. Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate
It's
it.
a lot of that, yeah, for sure. Just because, man, if you got real personal with it, I don't know how long it would take, but it would take a very long time. And I don't like seeing the unread, the red number text message on there. I like my phone pretty clean, so I
So
got to
you don't
get
have
through it
any.
quickly.
So you make sure they're all red.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I respond to them too. So, but yeah, I just don't like the little red bubble on there. Same with my email. I make sure I at least open it to where I don't have any unread emails because I just don't like the cluttered mess.
I'm looking at mine. I have 23,265 unread emails.
Oh my gosh.
We're very different, man.
Very different. Yeah, dang.
Is that kind of the way you are with your race car? Like, is everything have to be exactly the same way every time you get in there?
I think sure, like with how my morning routine would go or the way I buckle myself into the race car, like all of that is yes, very much the same every time. Even putting what order you put your shoes on or your gloves on. So a little bit OCD. I don't know if all race car drivers are like that or not, but yeah, I don't know. I've just always been like that, just kind of muscle memory.
Are you sock, sock, shoe, shoe, or are you sock, shoe, sock, shoe?
I'm socks and then shoes.
Okay, all right.
Like,
Just not making sure. I didn't know you were psychotic or not. I just wanted to make sure
no,
you're
yeah, I would say that
someone.
sounds very psychotic.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Um, what one more question I was going to ask you about, just kind of, pre race odds and stuff. Before you race, do you look at the odds to see if you're favored to win, or do you kind of know you already know where you're at?
I don't look, but a lot of times, because I'm in it, right? Like I know what tracks are good. I know how practice kind of went. And a lot of times we're the favorite, the five, like Kyle Larson and the 5 team, because we run up front a lot. But there's a lot of tracks I'm like, man, I don't know why they have me the favorite. Like I know I'm gonna suck, but yeah, we're not allowed to talk about it. We can't offer any insight.
Yeah. Do you what's another sport? What sport are you into? You like football?
Yeah, I like football. I mean, I like all sports, I would say. I don't have the time to get fully invested in it, and know the players and who's on the injured list and all that,
Yeah.
or who just got traded. But I enjoy watching all sports. I'm a competitor, so I like to see, athletes compete at a high level and just get a glimpse into what their mindsets might be. But yeah, right now it's football season, so I'm enjoying watching some football.
I mean, I love watching you guys on the weekends, but I always think, like, man, like Kyle can't watch football today. Like he's got a race today. Do you feel like your weekends are just shot because of what you do?
Yeah, I mean our life routine is much different than a normal person. I feel like our weekends, are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, really. And that's when everybody's working. So it's like you don't really get a chance to hang out with people or go on vacations or whatever. So it's a bit odd. But yeah, football, I mean, we miss all the games, but yeah, I'll watch. Usually our race gets done in time to like when Sunday night football's turned on, which is cool. We can sit on the plane and watch some football.
So what now, man? How long do you celebrate this win and enjoy this win and then move on to the next?
I would say I mean, the banquet we have here in Arizona tomorrow, so I think that makes the celebration much shorter. Before, we used to have the banquet at 3 or 4 weeks probably after the final race. So I would think that the celebration seems longer, but I think it'll be good. I think it's good that we're having it right after. It's fresh, you're excited still, and all that. So yeah, I look forward to celebrating with the team again tomorrow night and celebrating the year that all of us teams had, and then yeah, getting focused for next year. I do a lot of dirt track racing, so I'll do some dirt track stuff this off season, and then yeah, just get ready for Daytona in February.
Lastly, where does the trophy go? Because when I won my first CMA award, I was like, this is going in my living room. My wife's like, no, it's not.
I have a nice trophy case in my house, like a game room. So glass, lit up trophy case. It's really nice. That's where I have all my big wins. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of lay out the shelving, and I think, probably gonna have to pull a trophy out of there because they're all big ones, and yeah, I don't think I'll have the space for everything.
That's a good problem to have, dude. Congratulations, man. It's really awesome. It was a great race. It was a good season, and just congrats, dude. And thank you so much for making time to hang out with us with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a bunch.
All right, bud.
All right, that's going to wrap us up. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
You too, man.
I was just looking at games. Like, we're screwed in our money league this week
No matter what.
because our
Yeah.
teams are playing each other and we got to buy. We're going to be down in the hole about $1,000 again. We always have that
Oh.
time we were up 1,000 in our league.
That bad?
It could, yeah. It could, yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a good week because the Cowboys aren't a bye.
Too many teams on bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks for us.
Okay.
Big college game of the week. I think the BYU Texas Tech game is super interesting because I think it's kind of, as Andy Staples said, a playoff game, but they may meet each other again. I think that's a fun one. I think LSU at Alabama is fun. Oregon and Iowa. It's a pretty good weekend for college football. That's all.
You're just going to be sitting around watching football?
Probably.
Did you actually have a good reason?
Yeah, but I really don't get any pressure to not sit around and watch football anyway. We don't have a baby yet. And
Yeah.
I think with the baby, I'm going to be sitting around even more watching football.
Yeah, because you're going to be holding
And my wife's
holding
not
the
like
baby.
nagging me to go do crap. I think for the first few years, she wanted to do stuff. And now she's like, screw it. We're married. Do whatever you want.
I know who I married
Yeah,
now.
it's like, do your thing. You guys have a good, this is Thursday when it comes out. But please send me
Oh, boy.
feedback in DMs, or if you're listening on Spotify where you can write a comment underneath, load it up. Give us your feedback. We'll read them back on probably Monday's show. Everybody good on that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Mike? All right, bye, everybody.